right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another round of coffee and questions. And what's today's topic? Well, about 3 weeks ago or more, we went out to Harbor Freight, the group of us that meet, talk about tools and stuff like that. And one of the guys had bought one of their hand trucks, their hand carts, I think it's Haulmaster. I'm going to show you in just a sec the advertised ones that they have on sale. But there's some downsides to it and there are some quick fixes to it. But I'm not going to tell you that they're the best fixes, but they are fixes. And then I'm going to tell you about something that I believe is better that's made by Milwaukee. So let's jump right into the store. Let's take a look at what they have on sale. And let's take a look at their lineup of hand carts. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you their kind of complete line, of these hand trucks. Now, the ones out at the club that we got were between the 600 and 700 pound ones. So they run about $45. Okay, so... But some of the comments are going to hold true with all of these hand carts. But let me finish showing you the advertisements. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so here's the second slide showing you the Haulmasters and the Costco. Now, you can see where the prices are a little bit all over the place from $62 up to $140. Let me show you one more, then we'll get into the conversation on the downsides to this and some of the tips that you can use maybe to fix it. So let's change that last slide. Okay, here you see the last example I have of anything that's advertised at $34.97. It's on clearance. So this is one of the ones that they got out at the club. Now, some of the comments here about the wheels are real wobbly a lot of times, when you buy these. Now, my suggestion is when you're out there, push it around. Make sure that the wheels aren't wobbling. They, factory defect, poor quality control, whatever, but some of them have that issue. The other thing is the wheels themselves are very poor quality. So they last a season, lots of complaints on the wheels. The wheels just aren't that great of wheels, but I'm going to show you something better in a little bit. And that axle on there, it bends really easily because it's made out of a poor quality steel. So these are the biggest complaints really on this. Now, a friend of mine out at the club, he got one and got disappointed because it wasn't going to function well. One of the issues was, yes, the axle did bend. Then he started reading, through all of, the downsides to these, especially with the tires and the rims. And some of the rims bend easy and the axle and the wheels. So this is where all of the faults center around with this. Now this is like a medium duty kind of a cart, anywhere between the 6 and the 800s. Now he was just going to throw it out. And I told him, well, before you throw it out, hold on. Okay, so with all of the issues with this, and he was going to get rid of it because he just thought it was just a pile of junk, I told him, well, hold up. I mean, we went out to the steel supplier, like I said, and we got a nice thick cold rolled steel rod, 4.5-inch angle grinder. I cut out where you see the little bracing is there, and we welded in a new rod. Now, as far as the tires, we switched over to something different. So this is not a cheap fix. I'm not going to tell you that it is, but we only paid like $5 or $8 for a much thicker, heavier duty rod. I don't remember if it was 3/4 or what we did. But we matched it up fairly close and we knew it was going to be a much stronger axle rod. So switching over to the tires for a second, let me show you what Harbor Freight has. Okay, so now these are the ones from Harbor Freight. Now you can get the solid rubber or you can get the ones that are inflatable here at $24.99. I did not want the inflatable ones. There's lots of problems with these, in terms of leakage, and they always seem to run flat and they don't last but a season, maybe a little bit more. And for me, like around the house or even out at the, the workshop where we all meet, these solid rubber tires just seemed like they were going to be better all the way around. So we took a look at the Harbor Freight ones. They're okay, I guess, is a good way to put it. But they weren't going to be our first choice because even these had problems decaying and they had problems, between the rim and the wobbling and all this stuff when, you get them. So we decided, let's take a look and we'll find something better on Amazon. So what we came up with, these are better wheels. If you already have an existing one and you're looking for something that is solid rubber tires, let me change the picture. Okay, so these are the solid rubber tires that we went ahead and bought. They're still the 10-inch. But these had really good ratings. Yes, they're going to cost you more money, but rather than throw the dolly out because he had it for about 6 to 8 months at this point or something well beyond like any kind of a return was going to be, I told him, look, let's just pay the $5 or $8. Let's get the new axle rod in there. We'll go ahead and get these off of there. And in the end, did you pay a lot more money than you should have all the way around for a good solid, hand truck? Well, the answer is yes, you did. But that was the way of salvaging it, and some quick fixes. Get better tires, ones that are good, that have good rims on them. You can get them off Amazon. I'll leave you the links below on everything. And the steel rod, I wouldn't necessarily get it, like I said, from Home Depot or Lowe's. It's more costly. Check your steel supplier. Look in the cutoff section. That's where we found the rod that we found. Much more heavy duty. It says 5/8 axle size. So that's probably what we ended up getting in terms of a cutoff. Like I said, it's easy with a 4.5-inch angle grinder cutoff wheel. You can cut into that bracket, you can weld a new one on there and just replace these, and you got a nice cart. Okay, so that being said, let's switch over, and this would have been a better buy to start off with. Let me show you. Okay, so you would have been much better off with this Milwaukee, and there's a 600-pound one, and I'm going to show you an 800-pound one, so give me just a sec. Okay, so here's a picture of the 800-pound one. Now, some people got the 600-pound one. It's got good reviews. Other people went ahead and chose the 800-pound one. Now, the 800-pound one is the one that I ended up getting. Okay, so I'm a Prime member, so it ships for free. It ships Prime. The other thing is it comes totally assembled. There's no assembly required on this, on either the 600 or the 800-pound one, either one. It's a good value, at the price. It's really sturdy, well-made frame. I think it's made out of 3/4-inch tube steel. The tires are solid rubber, so you don't have to worry about flats. They're easily replaceable, even off of Amazon. You can there's a couple of catch washers that hold the wheels. So all you have to do is just remove the washers, you R&R the wheels, boom, you're good to go if something goes wrong with the wheels. What's the width on the tire from one tire over to the other? You've got about 18.5-inch width. What are the dimensions? 47 by 18.5 by 19 inches, and it weighs 23 pounds. How would I consider it? Well, I would consider it a medium duty hand truck. It's not heavy duty. So, if you're going to really be putting a lot of weight on something like this, you might want to spend more money and get something more heavy duty. But for my needs around the house and at the shop, it works out great. I haven't had a problem with this Milwaukee since I got them. There's no wobble in the wheels. It runs straight. I like the solid rubber tires. But like I said, if you prefer the inflatable ones, you can look around and find something like that. But I don't have to worry about flat tires or it leaking air or anything like that. Now, the other thing is, out at Home Depot, sometimes these are on sale. Now, I saw the 600-pound one and the 800-pound one. Some of them are $66.33, which is about $7 and some odd cents more than Amazon's charging. Amazon's charging that much more is what I meant to say. And on the Home Depot one, the 800-pound one, they did have a few of them out there the last time that I looked, and they were a little bit cheaper than Amazon, and they were at about $63, $64, okay, as compared to about $75 on Amazon, like you see here at $74.24. But my point in this whole discussion is that if you take a look at what you may end up having to modify and tweak and do with one of the Harbor Freight ones, although you got it cheaper, by the time you add in buying better quality wheels, or by the time, your times were something, by the time you cut off and grind out and put in a new axle, and you had to go through the trouble of going to, metal supply place and buying it, et cetera, you easily would have spent probably this amount. So I would tell you, read through the reviews carefully. I will leave you the links below on these Milwaukee ones. Now, Home Depot or Lowe's, if you have one close to you, it could be a better way to go, because if there is an issue, you simply return it. All in all, this is something for you to think about before you run out and buy one of those hand trucks from Harbor Freight. But run across one at a garage sale or flea market or something, and they only want $5 or $10, easy to modify it, easy to get the parts. Steel supply place, order the wheels off Amazon. That's kind of my quick tip of the week and some advice for you on these hand trucks from both Harbor Freight and, like I said, the Milwaukee. I think all the way around, Milwaukee is going to be the better way to go if you're buying it from scratch. I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe. Keep following me. Drop me a comment if you know of something better out there or something that's a better deal. Otherwise, see you folks on the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.